Hello and welcome back to episode 31 of my AllTheMods10 SSP playthrough. In this episode, we will continue down the path of Forbidden and Arcanus and try to get to the Tier 5 Forge. I don't know if that's an ambitious goal for this episode. I'm hoping to get there. I think it's possible, but first, though, we are going to need to get this turtle spawner set up and ready to go. So, from the last episode, we already put the turtle egg onto here, so it is now youthful. I went ahead and grabbed up some materials, and again, we're just going to slap this with some sugar, some clocks, some gas tiers, make this as maxed out of a spawner as possible. And now for the most important part of the spawner is the conduit. So now we can see it ignores all conditions and the turtles are now starting to spawn. So it's a max of 32 entities. We can probably automate this in some way. I might have to do some research because obviously we don't want the baby turtles to be killed. We want the adult ones to be destroyed so that we can spawn more baby turtles and not have to, manually off them. But so I am not entirely sure. I'm sure there's a way to do that, though I am not sure off the top of my head. So I'm going to show this range. Looks like everything is encompassed in this little advanced item collector. So we're just going to let these guys grow up into adults, and we are going to whitelist the turtle Scute here. Yes, I think I can drag and drop. No. So we are going to have to, I guess, wait a little bit for these guys to grow up here. But just wanted to get this set up so we can go ahead and start getting some turtle Scute underway so that we can make the sea prism here. Though now we have been letting our automatic soul extractor little setup here running for a little while. We now have just over 800 souls. So what we can do now is put all of these guys in here, and I think we are now able to make the quantum injector just minus some blood, I believe. No, we are actually good on blood, so let me go ahead and put those in, put these 4 around, and we are good to go. And boom, we now have the quantum injector. So as we are waiting for these guys, and I forgot to turn off the show area here, but as we're waiting for these guys to grow up so we can get the turtle Scute, what I do want to do is work towards the Stellarite Bee spawn egg. So we are now going to officially get into making the spawn eggs from productive bees. So in order to get this setup going, we are going to need a couple of things. The first thing we're going to need is a bottler with a piston facing underneath. Now, what I like to do is I like to use ethereal glass here just because, and let me go ahead and grab a block here. We are going to need basically the bees inside of here to be squished by the piston. Now, what we don't want is for the bees to escape. So that's why I like the ethereal glass. Also why, I like staying small. We're just going to place a button on the wall over here to let the piston go as such. We are also going to want another advanced item collector. So we could probably just do the basic one actually this time. Yeah. So we're going to want the basic. Do I have any stingers? Yes. And we're also going to want another demagnetization coil. So with this, and let me get some, I think I have some cages on me. Yeah, we are going to need some ancient bee spawn eggs. So I will go ahead and grab 2 of these ancient bees, and we will breed them up a little bit. And this is just for example's sake, but they are going to need to be adults as well. So this is, again, where the honey treats comes in. We got to breed up all the ancient bees, put them in the incubator for them to grow. And then we will place the adult down in here. Now he is stuck and we squish him. That is correct. We do actually need bottles. So in order for this to work, we do need to have the bottler filled with bottles as well. So grab a handful of those, and now if we squish it, it should work. And this is why we need the demagnetization coil as well as the basic item collector. because we don't want to pick up this stuff. So if we do one more up, I think, yeah, that should be good. Then we are going to want to wrap our power around here and put it in a powered centrifuge. I might want to scooch these over one each. And we're going to need this. I'm going to put some speedier upgrades into it. And with the squashed bee material, we can go ahead and put this in the centrifuge here. And as you can see, we get a ton of different genes. You can, if you're pretty nitpicky or, want to, I guess, increase productivity of all your bees, see if like the different levels of them, this one's productivity is normal, this one's high, this one's high, this one's medium, and they also have different behaviors, different endurance, different tempers, all that good stuff, different weather tolerance. So you can alter every bee's genes essentially and kind of pick and choose which traits you want to have. But for this, we are specifically looking for type productive bees netherite, and that is currently at 23%. We are going to get a couple of item pipes here as well, and we are going to pump these guys into the back of the gene indexer here. Right now, it's only one of each. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab one more and turn that into an adult to show you guys how the gene indexer works. And I should have done this before, but we do want the basic item collector on top of the powered centrifuge here. So I am going to decrease the working area. I think if I decrease the X by one more, that's just out of the area. So we need one more X. This one does not filter. So like anything in this area that is dropped will be picked up by this guy. Will be placed in the centrifuge. So we might want to think about upgrading this to an advanced so we can whitelist the gene sample. But if I put another one of these guys into here and go ahead and squish him, everything should be picked up. And yeah, we probably will because we don't want the bee stingers to go in there. But so as you saw, the gene sample went in here, went to the powered centrifuge, and now we have two sets of genes. The first one from the first bee, the second set from the second bee, but they're not combining. This is 23%, this is 25%. We want them to combine. So we are going to place a lever up top, and with a redstone signal, you can see they all do combine. So now we have a 48% gene sample of the netherite bee, so the ancient bee. And so yeah, with that, I am going to make just a couple more. I think with like two of them, we've already gotten almost 50%, so we might only need a handful more. Let me just go ahead and get 3 more, and we'll go ahead and squish all of them, and hopefully we will get 100%. But so again, just kind of sitting here, placing them in, going out, pushing the button, placing them in, going out, pushing the button. This can be automatable. Yeah, we're definitely going to want to make this an advanced item collector because I want to blacklist those bee stingers. But with that, I think we should have somewhere, yes, a 100% productive bee netherite gene sample. With this in a crafting inventory, and this can be with any productive bees type, you just have to combine it with a honey treat and you'll get a netherite treat 100%. Now, if we get an egg and put this in the incubator, we will get the ancient bee spawn egg. Perfect. So we are going to want a handful of these because we are going to need to turn this into the Stellarite bee spawn egg. So we should have roughly everything we need besides for the tier 5 forge. So again, just wanting to kind of show this, get this ball rolling for the Stellarite bees. And let me go ahead and make this. But hopefully the turtle scute is ready to go at this point. But I think we can upgrade to at least a tier 4 currently. So the turtles have now finally all grown up here. And we got 32 turtle scutes. So I do want to whitelist the scute here. So if I drop this, should pick it up. If I drop this, it will not. Perfect. So with this Scute, and I am actually going to go ahead and just manually delete the remaining of these turtles because we don't really need them at this point. So just letting some more baby turtles spawn here to get another 30 turtle Scute in about 20 minutes. And honestly, the reason why I don't really automate this or haven't really found a way to automate this is because we don't really need to do this for too long. Honestly, after, again, the first round and now the second round in about 20 minutes, we're going to get a full stack of Turtle Scute. And with that, again, we can make the Turtle Scute mystical agriculture seeds from the soul jars. So, again, we only need 48 Scute to make all 4 jars. So we can make, start making seeds for the Turtle Scute after just 2 rounds of this. So if you want to automate it, feel free. But I personally, since we have mystical agriculture in the pack, might as well just make the seeds, make our lives a little bit easier here. But with this, our forge is now ready, I believe, to be upgraded to a tier 4. So we're going to need 4 Stellarite pieces, 4 rune pieces, and a chiseled darkstone block here, and boom. So we are running a little bit low on Ariel. I'm hoping to get to the tier 5 and to automate that, as that's honestly the most, tedious. I can get blood pretty quickly. We can get experience pretty quickly. We now can get souls pretty quickly. The only thing we can't really get pretty quickly is the Ariel, and I don't particularly like making the bottles of Ariel because that's also just tedious with the potion making. So now we do have a tier 4 Hephaestus Forge. We made that before the Sea Prism because, well, we can get this before we need to make this. And this also does cost 1,000 Oriole. So wanted to just make that as we just reached 2,000 there. And the next tier is the tier 5. Let's see. I think, yeah, we can just go straight to tier 5 here. It looks like we are going to need a couple of the Scute Catalyst, a block of Stellarite, 2 of the Dragon Scales from Forbidden Arcanus, and then 2 Dark Nether Stars, which is just the Obsidian Steel surrounding the Nether Star. So I'm going to go ahead and craft all of that up here. Hopefully we have enough Ariel to make things work, but I'm going to gather up those resources here momentarily. So now I gathered up all of the resources required. I honestly just, sat and AFK'd here while editing the video currently. And so now we have enough to make both the Sea Prism as well as the tier 5 forge. So we'll first make the Sea Prism since we've been, trying to make that for God knows how long at this point. Go ahead and smack that. We might need, about 8 more souls, which is totally fine. I've just been kind of letting this run here in the background, but we'll let this craft up and then make the tier 5 forge. So Sea Prism has been checked off the list. Now let's go ahead and put some more souls in here. I think we need 20,000 blood for the tier 5. So we need 5,000 Oriole, 500 souls, 20,000 blood, and 0 experience. So again, the Stellarite block goes into the middle here. We need 4 of the Scute Catalysts, 2 of the Dark Nether Stars, and 2 of the Dragon Scales. Now, boom, we now have access, after this completes crafting, to the Tier 5 Forge. That looks so nice and so pretty. Perfect. We finally have the Tier 5 Forge. Now, with that being unlocked, we do get some additional quests from this mod pack. So we have been, again, kind of following it, not really following it, but we do get some Arcanus spawn bees, which is nice. We got the sink for infinite water, and so with that we can get the liquid Oriole. We are going to need, I guess, some unrefined liquid souls. I guess there is another way to automate the liquid souls. From the unrefined liquid souls. Yeah, we are going to need the soul tree log. So we'll go and find that eventually to get the liquid souls. Again, the blood, auto blood, this is from Evil Craft. We will be getting into Evil Craft later. And then the fluid XP, again, is really just from the auto experience. So been doing it a little bit of a roundabout way. Not a problem here. And I do want to mention, I did remove the black hole. I tried to keep feeding it experience. I thought that if you keep feeding it, it will like eventually expire, but that didn't seem like to be like the case. I don't know if I just didn't hit the mark or whatever, but you can't actually mine it, so I just kind of slowly mined it. You'd see at the top there at Whala a little progress bar going for when you're breaking it, so you can just break it with a pickaxe or even your hand and get rid of it, because we are going to need to get rid of this to expand this forge at some point. So with the tier 5 forge, we can now unlock a lot of cool stuff. So I have this saved for later, but right now I want to make the Stellarite Bee spawn egg. So that's going to be 4 Eternal Stella, 2 Stellarite, 2 Vibranium blocks, some random junk there, and to make the Eternal Stella, we are going to need, for the time being, to make a few more of them manually. So got the resources here, going to manually go ahead and craft these guys up and then get the spawn egg shortly. I also think I forgot to mention that I did make all 5 of the ancient bee spawn eggs, so I just bred up like maybe half a stack of bees, and I got, you know, more than what I needed, but made all 5 of those. So I think for the time being, though, I'm only going to make 2 because we can get more Eterna Stella from these guys, so I don't really want to have to craft up all of them all at once, but we are going to need 4 of those Eternal Stella, 2 of the Stellarite, and 2 of the Vibranium. Perfect. And in order to make it, needs 82 Oriole, 4 souls, 1,000 blood, and 0 experience. So we are all good to go to make these 2 here. So we went ahead and got both of the Stellarite Bee spawn eggs. Now, again, why these guys are important is because we do get a 1% chance from the item output here to get an Eternal Stella, so we don't have to waste time or resources to get those. And then we do get the Stellarite Comb, which we can then use to make the xpetrified orbs and or the Stellarite pieces. So we get basically 3 items for the price of 1, which, you know, is probably why they're so expensive in relativity to make comparatively to like other bees. So we're gonna go ahead and put these guys in here. They do require a Stellarite block to pollinate as well, so we will go ahead and let that run for a little bit so we can get you know, more efficient Stellarite pieces, and we're gonna go ahead and probably place it in one of these centrifuges here. So before I forget, I do want to duplicate all of our relics, as I've mentioned in a previous episode, just wanting to rather be safe than sorry, essentially. So the first one is, and they all require the obsidian steel. Oh goodness, come on, don't place it there. They all require the obsidian steel and then the relic in the middle here. Perfect. So yeah, I'm just gonna go down the line, make all of these. The divine one is the highest tier with unobtainium. The elementarium is going to be with the AllTheMods10, and the crimson stone is going to be with the vibranium. So just again, duplicating all of these just to make sure I have a backup just in case anything unfortunate happens. Again, really do not want to go out and explore for all of these again. So now that I have them, I want to keep them. So perfect. Going to go ahead and do that with all of these, and we will be back. So the whole point of us going through all the trouble and going all the way down to the path to make the tier 5 forge is to make some better weapons. So we can make these things called AllTheMods10 alloy whatever. So we can make the AllTheMods10 alloy blade, the axe, the pick, the shovel, and then lastly, there is an item called the AllTheMods10 alloy pickaxle, or the paxle, and that is essentially everything combined together. So we're going to need an AllTheMods10 sword, pickaxe, axe, and shovel, along with all of the prisms that we've previously made. That does require the tier 5 forge, so this is ultimately the end goal here. It has a ton of attack damage, a lot of mining speed, a lot of all that good stuff. So we'll probably, again, have to strip our enchants. I think the unobtainium enchants will follow through into the AllTheMods10 alloy blade. I'm not sure, however, if they will follow through the Paxel. We can either test it and find out, or we can be safe than sorry. But so that is, again, our ultimate goal. And I do want to start with the sword here. So we're going to need some of these dragon scales. I think I've mentioned them to you guys previously when we defeated the Ender Dragon. Getting these dragon scales from Forbidden Arcanus will allow us to get these scales. We're also going to need a couple alloy ingots, and so all of these we are looking to automate. This one is going to be coming from industrial foregoing. It's going to require some soul lava as well as the Piglich hearts, so we are going to have to kill a couple of Piglitches and get some hearts, so that just might take just some time and dedication. The next one is coming from Powa itself. It's going to be block and nitro crystals, some Piglich hearts, and then the vibranium and AllTheMods10. And the last one is going to be from Ars Navu. So we are going to have to get a little bit into this and set up some automation with that before we actually are able to get to here. But this is kind of everything that we're going to be working towards over the next couple of episodes. So to start off by getting the Piglich hearts, and I will explain why I already have one in my inventory currently, we are going to need to kill 6 of the Piglitches. Again, I do want it as a data model from hostile neural networks so that we can just worry about killing 6 and going from there. There are numerous different ways to go about killing the Piglich. The biggest one is the Morgan Sword. Though I haven't really ever played with this mod, I could experiment and look into it to get the Morgan Sword, get it upgraded. We might, but I think that I'm not, at least personally, incredibly interested in this mod as a whole. I think there are other options, just fine options. I'm really would rather work towards the Modern Industrialization Quantum Sword rather than this one, so we will get to that eventually. So I kind of took a look at my options here. I went ahead and made some mob imprisonment tools, which is just some plastic and some gas tiers. And so you can right click it and, let the whatever mob you want in and out. They are reusable. And what I am going to do is I made an advanced mob grinder, so a mob masher. This is like the diamond tier here. This does require a redstone signal to run. So if I place it down here and I place a redstone signal on top of it, it will work. It'll start, grinding up. We can put upgrades in here. So I went ahead and made some sharpness upgrades, max of 10, so they deal a lot more damage. Oh yeah. And then I did make some smite upgrades, thinking because it's a Piglich, it's kind of like undead. I didn't know if smite would work. It doesn't seem like smite works, but oh well, it was a good experiment. But so what I am going to do is I just made a hole here. We're going to place the redstone, then the mob masher, and I am going to let the pig, oh, and I forgot to actually put the upgrades yet. It only does freaking 1 damage. But I'm going to put the pigs here. I'm going to smack him and help him out, help the mob masher out, just so I'm getting multiple damage onto him. And after this guy gets to... Am I getting shot at by a blaze? That's what I'm hearing, at least. That might be his audio. Yeah, I definitely think that's his audio. But after he gets to about maybe 500 HP, between 500 and 1,000, I'm just going to let him wander, and I'm going to kill him with my deep learner here in my inventory. So I'll just be doing this for a little while. I think this is definitely not the most efficient way to do this, but it's a lot faster than just trying to smack him around the pyramid with a ton of other mobs, firing poison, fireballs and arrows at you. So this might take a little while, so I will definitely do this off camera, but hopefully soon get a hostile neural network module set up for this guy and never have to worry about him ever again. So again, just make sure you are keeping an eye out on his health. I got him down to 200 HP, so now I'm more than happy, didn't mean to break that, more than happy to go smacking him around. He's at 97, 68, so 2 more hits. Perfect. And now we have 5 remaining. So again, not the most efficient. Just make sure you're keeping an eye out on him, though. And the reason why I had the other Piglich heart is because I was doing some tests. I wanted to see... I mean, I figured this wouldn't work. because I'm pretty sure it's an insta-kill, but I was wondering, since he had so much health, if the mob crusher would actually be able to just one-hit him, just like instantly, well, crush or destroy him, and it was very much enough. He died in like one tick, so that was not an option. So this is, again, the best option that I could personally come up with, and we'll be back once I get all 6 done and a hostile neural network system set up for him. And 6 Piglitches later, we now have the data model, so I'm gonna let this run for a little bit. But that is about all that we had time for this episode. In the next episode, I want to explore a little bit more on automating these guys. We're going to get into Ars Navu, going to get some auto crafting set up. We're going to get some automatable soul lava as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you all in the next one.